So last week, I was like really stressed out because we were trying to get food, and like about a mile away from my son's school, or maybe 5 miles away from my son's school, there was a Walgreens that had gotten the Halloween in before the storm. So I called and they said yes, they had that they still had the collection, and they put aside the. I asked them to put aside the gray, and they put aside the black for me. So, there's a meme saying through hell or high water, Texas is going to get through this, and that is no joke. I'm trying to get away from this area and trying to go out to another area to see if I have a better chance at getting food. I knew that there was an HEB by that Walgreens. Again, it was about 5 miles away from my son's school. I also knew that around my son's area it was flooded. So I had stopped at Five Below because last year they had the fall, the Halloween, and the holiday. They haven't gotten anything since because they're trying to promote their own makeup, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. So I go and Five Below is on Pearland Parkway, and everybody tells me it's dry. But one lady had told me, who works, because I started hitting my local Walgreens just so I wouldn't have to drive out there, and they were telling me that it's flooded, you can't get up there. I said, well, I know that there's a side street, and I'm going to try that side street. They were saying that the 35 was flooded, that the Pearland Park was flooded. It was, and people tell me, no, it's not, no, it's not. It wasn't up until you got to the underpass. And there were cars abandoned there. And I was like, oh my goodness, I had to go all the way around. I was determined. Went all the way up. I found the side street. There was a little bit of flooding on my way to my son's school, but it was, all the cars were able to pass. It was just like maybe bottom tire high. So after I went through all of that, I go over there, and they got hit pretty bad with the flooding. It smelled so bad because that dirty water was on their carpets. And after I went through all of that, I went and I got these three. I got this, and I found another purple pencil. And since the cover was different from the one they had at Target last year, I said this might be a different shade of purple, so I got it. Oh my goodness. I purchased something for my daughter because she could not get the mermaid collection. I picked up the highlighter and the green lipstick. I get up there, and the girl starts to process the return. I wanted to return what I got from my daughter because she wound up buying the box set. And I don't know why the girl was giving me a hard time. She deleted it out of the system. I'm like, what are you talking about? I took. So I wanted to exchange that for this. And the girl was giving me the worst time. She got the manager. They were giving me attitude. They didn't want to. They wasn't accepting my discount card. It was a mess. They were just giving me the worst time. I mean, getting up there was horrible. This one woman was like cutting in front of me. I'm like, what the frig? I went to go put something back because they have 4 displays. There was supposed to be 4 of these, and it was a double. And I was like, I said, look, can you just ring me up? I'm going to go put this back. No, they put myself aside, took this other lady who cut in front of everybody else. I was like getting really upset. Oh my goodness. And the cashier box wasn't working. And they said you had to have cash. And so she paid for hers with cash. I didn't have cash. The lady behind me didn't have cash. So she wound up putting all her stuff back. And everybody's just trying to get food because, things were really scarce. So I had to drive to HEB, get cash, and I said I don't want to get a fee. So I wound up buying something for $2, getting the cash, going back. They weren't going to give me my discount. So I got enough to get. I really wanted these. I don't know when my stores are going to get them or if they get them. And I was like, I'm going to get this, and they don't want to give my discount. Guess what? I'm going to call the 800 number. And so the manager and the other girl left, and so this guy comes over and says, he does one of these, I'll give you the discount. They were giving me this bullcrap excuse. They've done this before, and they said they just don't want to take care of you. Bottom line, I don't even know why. Again, I don't know why these people work when you have to work with people and you're going to act like that. So basically, he was like, oh, they couldn't do it. My daughter had to be there. She had to show her ID, and the computer wasn't taking it. The guy did it. He said, I'll give you the discount. And he did it anyway. Thank God, you know, for good people. And I came home with these, and then I realized, why is there not 4? And 2 things, and my daughter helped me to realize this, because New York has Rite Aids and Kmart. Walgreens decided they're going to do an exclusive look, and it had to be the neutral palette. They already had a look with the neutral palette, which is this one, the Catwalk Zombie. So why you got to bring in this flirty fawn to another neutral palette? I'm telling you, it's just aggravating. So I kind of had an aggravating week dealing with Walgreens. So my daughter brought it to my attention that when she went to Rite Aid, I'm like, why does Rite Aid have the Brights palette, which is pretty? It's the red, blue, green, yellow, orange, and instead of purple, they put a pink. Whatever. I mean, I got this. So I find out that she's telling me that. So she told me that Rite Aid has another look called the Jester, the something Jester. That one had the Brights palette. And I'm like, what the frig, you know? And I'm like, why do they do this? Now, most likely, Target will get their own. Just like last year, they had their own collection of one collection look that others didn't have. And CVS will also get one of their own exclusive looks, just like last year they had the Queen of Hearts. And I'm like, it's frustrating because we don't have a Rite Aid. Then some girl posted what her grocery store had, which looks like what a Kmart might have. Ginormous display with stuff in it that is not at the Walgreens. The Walgreens displays were kind of bare, had like regular line stuff on it. This other one, it had a black face cream. It had pigments. It had the glitter liners. It had the white face cream. And last year, Wet n Wild did put this face cream on their website to purchase. H-E-B didn't even carry anything from the collection. I'm hoping this year they might get, you know, some of the Brights palette and the black face cream and all of that. But with this hurricane that happened, everything has been delayed getting to the stores. The stores still can't keep up with people trying to get food. There's still people who actually don't have electricity, so they're just selling ice like crazy. They have to make the room for that. H-E-B had so much ice they couldn't even put it anywhere. They started giving it away. I mean, so everything's going to be delayed in their shipments and going to the stores. So I went to a few Walgreens and it was the same display. So I actually called another Walgreens closer to me, and only one of them got it in. And they said, yeah, we have the Brights palette. It was the small little glitter palette. They called it Brights as well. I was so mad. And that's when I noticed that it said that it had an exclusive look. And then Rite Aid has the Jester look, which has the Brights palette. And I don't know what's going to happen with Target and CVS. They might have their own as well. They are giving me a hard time because it's wrinkled and they can't get the numbers. And that's why my daughter told me. I called my daughter, like, what is going on? You know, why are they being like this? And she's like, she was furious. She's like, that's not the way it's supposed to be. They can do that manually. They must have been putting in the numbers wrong. They're just not doing their job. They should be taking care of you, blah, blah, blah. And they're all saying, oh, you need to go to the store you bought it at. And the manager has to take care of this and blah, blah, blah. Which things are still getting canceled. My appointments to be out where I bought it from. Because, you know, so much stuff is going on. And they opened the facility for my daughter's therapy, but some people had to volunteer somewhere else to help out. You know, because they're still trying to recuperate from the damage. And so I wasn't able to get to that. You know, I'm not going to just drive over there for nothing, to Clear Lake for nothing. So I wound up yesterday going to Alvin for my son had to get some blood work. I had to get his medicine, his medicines and whatnot. And I went to the Walgreens down there because I wanted to exchange it for something else. If not, I mean, I guess I could take store credit, but no problem. No problem. She did it all manually for me. Those other stores were just being difficult. And so what I did was I took I'd rather exchange it. I found out about these cute little lip smackers. These cute little lip smacker chapsticks. They're actually coffee with cream on top, and then one is white chocolate, but it smells like ginger. I don't like gingerbread. It doesn't smell like white chocolate at all. And then I got the eggnog one. So, and I forgot to get this, but I refused to give them any more money because they would give me a hard time about giving me my money back. So it was pretty much an even exchange, and I got that for that. And I'm telling you, I've just been an aggravating week with Walgreens. And then yesterday, I found that, and I'm trying to see if the Walgreens maybe might have it. And I went to like maybe 5, and none of them had it. And they had a sale, buy 2 get 1 free. And so I went back to my Walgreens on the way home from my son. My son's first day of school was yesterday. It was a long day. I had to get up. I have not slept for 3 days. Well, I have not slept well for 3 days. Had to get up early for his blood work. He had to get his medicine. Had to feed him lunch because it was his first day of school. You know, it was just an aggravating day. Go to Starbucks and they're telling me... it was just, you know, ladies talking. I'm in a rush, and she's just talking. The cashier and telling me, yeah, I can make this special mermaid frap for you. And after I'm waiting, and she's chatting before she takes care of me, and I'm waiting, and it's excruciating because when you need to get somewhere on time, every second feels like an eternity. They gave me the wrong thing. She never told them what it was. Oh my goodness. So just aggravated out of my mind. I was like, I didn't mean to do this. I was calm, but I slammed my hand on the counter and I said, because they were telling me, oh, we can't make that. We don't have the ingredients, and it's very complicated. It might take time. I went, slam. I didn't mean to, but very calmly I said, give me my money back. Because she said you could do it. And now you're telling me you can't, and I need to get out of here. So right away, the guy says, so that was the manager telling me that? The worker says, I can have this ready for you in a minute. And he did it. I got a mermaid frap, which the kids thought was wonderful. So that was great. And got him to school. And I found out they were having a buy 2 get 1 free on all cosmetics at Walgreens. So I go to the one by my house because they had what I wanted. And she says, oh, it's not ringing up. So this is not a part of the sale. I said, your flyer says cosmetics. It doesn't have any exclusions. It didn't have those little asterisks with exclusions. Yes, there's exclusions. I said, I don't think, is this brand excluded? I don't know. I think it is. I can't give you. I said, wait a minute. You know, my other Walgreens, they would have done it by hand. I said, the other Walgreens I went to, they did it by hand. You can do it by hand. And the assistant manager says to me, well, not all Walgreens have to honor that. I'm like, they don't have to honor the circular? It's like, okay. I will go. I told her after the manager left, she says, do you still want it? I said, you know what? Yes, I want it. And I'm calling the 800 number, and I'm going to get my money back. And if they don't give me my money back, I'm just going to come and return it. The girl was a little taken aback, and she had a little bit of an attitude too, but the girl was a little taken aback. And she's like, oh, okay. I was furious. I could not wait to get home. I got on that phone, and there's 2 separate numbers. One of them had me on hold for a while. I called the other one, and she's like, oh, the store's gonna have to take care of this. They're gonna have to get back to you in 2 days, and if you're not satisfied, call us back. I said, why can't you just take care of me and put the points on my card? Because that's what they've done in the past. This happened to me twice before in the past 3 years, where you just have stupid, nasty people in management positions that shouldn't be dealing with people if they're gonna be like that. And she's like, I can't promise you what the next person will do, but just call us back if you're not satisfied. I was like, well, the only thing that's going to satisfy me is that you put the equivalent amount of dollars on my Walgreens card. So as soon as I hung up with her, I get I was on hold for a long time for the points card, for the balance card, reward balance card. She took care of me immediately. She gave me more than what they cheated me out of, and now I have the equivalent on my card to get whatever I want. You know, it's the same as cash. It's on your card. You swipe it. I checked online. I had it, had the points that I needed that would be equivalent to the dollars that they took from me. And that's the way it should be, you know? I just had such an aggravating week, but at the same time, you know, it was still satisfying because at least I got what I wanted. I got my mermaid frap. I got my 2-for-1. I got my money back for the other thing because I, you know, got the chapsticks for it. So even though it was aggravating, at least I got what I wanted. And I've said this before to you guys. You fight for what you want. You fight for what you believe is right for you. So they said that they're gonna have to get back to me, that they are going to you know, tell that store how I was treated, and someone has to get back to me. So anyway, I also called up Wet n Wild finally, because I've really not had a chance to breathe. It's doing one thing after another. Even when they cancel, I have to try and do stuff in the house that I haven't done. And at least I finished putting away all the receipts. Now I just gotta hit the paperwork, just, you know, file the paperwork. It's just been one of those frustrating weeks. I called Wet n Wild and I told them how I felt about how they handled things. And at first she said she would take it. I said, I really think I need to write to corporate. And when she heard my large complaint about how they handled that mermaid debacle from beginning to end, she's like, yeah, I think I'll give you the corporate address. It's like, okay. So I asked her, why? Can't you just have the same collections for every store? I said, don't you get that we don't have a Rite Aid? Now, if I wanted to get that, I'd probably have to go on eBay and pay 10 times the price. I said, why do you do that? And they were saying, well, you know, the companies choose what they feel is going to sell the most, and they choose what they want to sell. So she's saying it's the buyer's fault, the company buyers. And I also said to her about putting limits. Why do you guys not put limits? And I told her, I said, you don't put limits. If you would just put limits, like 2 per person, then everybody got a chance to get what they want. Because women buy up 10 and then go on eBay and sell it for $100. I said, why won't your company put limits? And she's like, I think you're going to have to write to corporate about that too. So anyway, you know, so I was kind of aggravated. And then I finally went to get my pain shots. And they're telling me that I have to pay $300 for my pain shots. I said, wait a minute, doesn't the insurance company cover that? Oh, we have an anesthesiologist and you're going to be sedated. I said, why do I need to be sedated? I've had pain shots before and I've never ever been sedated. They're going to hook you up to an IV and they're going to give you sedation. I don't want sedation. She said, well, I don't know if he's going to do it. And they all say that the doctor's not going to do it unless you're sedated. I said, well, I I already told him I didn't want sedation. And she's like, well, you're going to have to make another appointment. Spend another $40? I said, no. I said, I already told him I don't want it. He said it was okay. She said, I'll call you back. So she calls me back and she said, good news, the doctor said he'll do without sedation, so your cost will only be $13. I'm like, oh, okay, I thought I had to pay my $40 copay. I was like, even better, you know? And when I get there, it's a hospital. And they still hooked me up to an IV. Oh, the doctor won't do it unless we hook you up, just in case. Anesthesiologist walks in. I said, why are you here? I had to sign a bunch of paperwork, and I did not sign the paperwork for the anesthesia. And I said, why are you here? I told them I don't want anesthesia. She says, well, I said, I can't afford $300, but you know, I have to be here, so you still might get a bill for me. I'm like, telling you, frustrated. You're in a hospital doing this. I said, what is this? Is this just a racket to make more money from the insurance company? Because I've had, you know, this done so many times, and I just get it done in a clinic. And then not all of this hoopla and all of this money. I'm like, you know, aside from all of that, I'm just really happy that at least I could get what I can get.